The kind of man lust listens to without resistance. You think lust listens to confidence. It doesn't. It listens to something way quieter and way more dangerous. Most men try to talk louder, flex harder, or act colder. And that's exactly why lust ignores them. This video is about the kind of man lust listens to without resistance. Not because he forces it, not because he manipulates it, but because his presence makes resistance feel pointless. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some men barely say anything, yet attraction bends toward them like gravity. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. Let's get into it. Here's the uncomfortable truth no one likes to admit. Lust is not logical. It does not respond to effort. It does not care how nice you are, how hard you try, or how much you explain yourself. Lust listens to state, not words. That's why one man can say something simple like, "Come here," and it lands heavy, while another man can deliver a perfect paragraph and get nothing. Same words, different effect. So what's the difference? The difference is the kind of man speaking. Let me tell you a quick story. Two guys walk into the same room. Same age, same looks, same clothes. One starts talking immediately, jokes, stories, trying to impress. He fills the air because silence makes him nervous. The other guy, he doesn't rush. He looks around. He listens more than he speaks. When he finally talks, people lean in. Not because he's louder, but because he doesn't need their reaction. Lust listens to the man who doesn't chase it. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think attraction is about doing more. More lines, more tactics, more confidence on the surface. But lust is drawn to less. Less need, less noise, less trying. The man lust listens to without resistance is not begging for attention. He's not trying to prove anything. He's already settled inside himself. And that inner calm does something powerful. It creates tension. Real tension doesn't come from teasing words. It comes from restraint. Think about this. Why is silence sometimes more attractive than talking? Why does eye contact feel heavier than compliments? Why does someone feel more magnetic when they're slightly out of reach? Because lust feeds on unresolved energy. The man lust listens to understands this instinctively. He doesn't explain himself too much. He doesn't rush to respond. He doesn't overcorrect when things get awkward. He lets moments breathe. And most people can't do that. Most people panic in the pause. They fill it with jokes, apologies, or validation. But this man stays grounded. And that tells the nervous system something important. This person is safe and dangerous at the same time. Safe because he's calm. Dangerous because he's not predictable. Now let's get very clear about something. This is not about manipulation. This is not about playing games. This is about alignment. Lust listens to the man who is aligned with himself. His words, tone, body, and emotions all say the same thing. There's no split energy. A lot of men say confident things, but their body says, "Please like me." Lust hears the body, not the words. Studies on attraction psychology show that people subconsciously read emotional states faster than language. Your nervous system reads someone else's nervous system before your brain catches up. That's why you can feel someone's confidence or insecurity within seconds. The man lust listens to has a regulated nervous system. He's not jittery. He's not reactive. He's not desperate for approval. And because of that, his presence feels solid. Now here's the problem. Most men were never taught this. They were taught to perform, to impress, to win. But lust doesn't respond to performance. It responds to presence. And presence comes from one thing most people avoid: being okay with losing. The man lust listens to is not afraid of rejection. Not because rejection doesn't hurt, but because it doesn't define him. He doesn't bargain with desire. He doesn't negotiate attraction. If the energy isn't there, he lets it go. And paradoxically, that's what makes people lean in. Because lust hates pressure. Pressure kills desire faster than anything else. Think about the moments when attraction died instantly. Someone texted too much, asked for reassurance, tried to lock things down too fast. What happened? Resistance appeared. Not because the person was bad, but because their needs showed up. Lust listens to the man who doesn't need it to happen. Now let's talk about speech, because this is where people misunderstand the title. It's not that lust listens to his words blindly. It listens because his words match his inner certainty. This man doesn't talk to convince. He talks to express. There's a huge difference. When someone is trying to convince you, you feel it. When someone is expressing themselves freely, you relax. Lust relaxes around him. He doesn't over-explain his intentions. He doesn't soften his statements with apologies. He says what he means calmly. For example, instead of saying, "I was thinking maybe if you're free and you want to, we could hang out sometime," he says, "I'm free Friday, come with me." Not demanding, not aggressive, just clear. Clarity is seductive because it removes confusion. And confusion creates resistance. The man lust listened to without resistance is decisive. Not controlling, decisive. He knows what he wants, and he's okay if the answer is no. That combination is rare. Now here's the challenge most people face. They try to copy the behavior without building the inner state. They speak slower, hold eye contact, use fewer words. But inside they're still anxious. And lust can feel that. You can't fake regulation. You can't fake groundedness. So how does this man become this way? Not by learning lines. Not by watching tricks. But by doing the inner work most people avoid. He builds a life that doesn't revolve around validation. He has purpose that exists without approval. He has routines that stabilize his emotions. He can sit with discomfort without running from it. This changes everything. Because lust doesn't listen to the man who wants it. It listens to the man who could walk away and be fine. Let me give you a simple test. Imagine two men hearing the same response. "I'm not sure." One man gets anxious. He starts explaining, reassuring, pushing. The other man smiles and says, "No worries." Which one feels more attractive? The second one. Why? Because his nervous system didn't collapse. Lust listens to emotional strength. Not loud strength. Quiet strength. Now let's talk about polarity. Attraction thrives on contrast. The man lust listens to is grounded in himself. That creates a natural polarity with someone who feels emotion deeply. He doesn't mirror chaos. He contains it. When emotions rise, he doesn't escalate. He stays steady. That steadiness feels intoxicating. Because most people are reactive. This man is responsive. There's a big difference. Reactive energy feels unsafe. Responsive energy feels intentional. Lust trusts intention. Now here's the climax of all this. The reason lust listens to this man without resistance is because there is nothing to push against. Resistance only appears when there's pressure. He's not pulling. He's not pushing. He's standing. And desire moves toward what stands still. Think of fire. If you chase it, it moves away. If you stay still, it warms you. This man doesn't chase heat. He becomes warmth. And that changes the entire dynamic. People don't feel hunted around him. They feel invited. Invitations don't create resistance. Pressure does. And finally, here's the summary you need to remember. Lust listens to the man who is calm, not loud; clear, not convincing; present, not performing; detached, not indifferent; grounded, not guarded. He doesn't try to be seductive. He just is. And lust follows alignment every single time. If you want to go deeper into how this kind of presence is built in daily life, watch the next video on your screen.